What's up guys and welcome to Xbox On. So we've seen the Battlefield 5 trailer and have deep dived into it to find every single detail that you need to know. So here are some Battlefield 5 secrets. We're going to start off talking about customization because it's been tapped on already during the reveal trailer. There is so much customization to the game and you see so many different parts of that in the trailer itself. So if we start just taking a look, because it kicks off with that horse's head on the vehicle as well. Vehicle customization for the first time as well, which looks amazing, other than the guy falling over it. Ryan, what's kind of your favorite customization item from the trailer that we've seen?
I think, I mean, the claw arm for me is a good one in that it's just that unexpected moment. And I mean, that's going to be one of those things that, players have seen this now and they're going to want it. And
yeah.
You're going to have to earn it.
It's going to be the first thing everyone's seen. It's going to be like, where is the claw?
I mean, what you're seeing in the trailer here is customization ratcheted all the way up there. And these are the things that we want players to aspire to get to, right? I mean,
yeah.
You're not going to get claw. When you start Battlefield 5, that claw arm isn't going to be given to you. You're going to have to work your way and earn it.
Yeah, I really like these stills as well because it just kind of gives you an idea of the sort of level of customization because you're going to be able to make it how you want your character to be, how you want your soldier to be. There's going to be so much choice and detail.
I mean, when you look at the guys in these and the girls and the ladies in these photos, it's just that you can see the sort of the story of each one of them sort of emanating from their character.
Yeah.
These aren't just sort of some person you've just sort of dressed up. There's some soul in them a bit, and I think that's where the team back in Stockholm was really going with this, is how do we sort of create that feeling of sort of giving your soldiers a soul and the company a soul.
Yeah, I now want to kind of move on from customization to the physicality, because we talked about that explosion, which we'll see right now, because I just love how the different styles you have and kind of how the room is going to react to that physical, the bodies as well, how that body's just rolling down the stairs, knocking off all the paintings.
See how he scratches his face towards the wall?
Wait,
yeah,
what?
I think, what?
Face towards the wall? Hold on, let's see this.
I think you will see that he's...
So here?
Yeah, did you see that?
So he just kind of drags his arm across.
Yeah, he goes boom into the wall with the head.
I think the important thing here is to really focus on is the fact that actually the ragdoll this time around actually has physics to it. So as you see, as the ragdoll is actually tumbling down the stairs, the ragdoll is hitting the painting on the wall, and the painting is falling down.
Yeah.
So in previous installations of Battlefield, there hasn't been that type of physical connection between the ragdolls and the world, but now we're actually upping that and bringing that into the game. So if you're, for example, you're standing in front of your team and your teammate gets shot and your teammate then is stumbling down the hill, as that teammate is stumbling down the hill, you're going to see the body kicking up dirt, and if the body lands in say in a puddle of mud at the bottom of the hill, you're going to see the body splashing into that puddle of mud, and you're going to see actual water splashing up.
Yeah.
So we're adding physicality to the ragdolls as well.
Yeah, so it's also you've got it when the tank drives into the building, which we see when it's kind of coming out.
Yeah.
You see the whole building react based on how that tank's hit the building.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a story we're telling here. So basically, imagine that you're sitting in a tank and you're shooting a shell at a house, for example.
Yeah.
And if that shell hits the front of the wall, the wall is going to crack and it's going to basically be shot into the house. But if that same shell is being shot through a window and then into the house and the explosion occurs inside the house, it's going to be shot in the opposite direction. We're shot out to you. So the way destruction happens in Battlefield 5 is significantly more dynamic in that sense.
It's going to be incredible. Also, so we've gone into the house for the first time. When you go up the stairs, you might notice the guy in the corner screaming for help. So, Natty, downstate, what can we know? What's changed in Battlefield 5 to previous games?
I mean, as you said, he's screaming for help. And this time, your squad mate can actually help you and revive you with something that we call body revive. And that is something that is really new to this game.
So if someone's not a medic, they can still pick up their teammate?
Yes, as long as it's your squad mate.
So it helps to encourage the kind of team play. So if you were that person that kind of just jumped in, left your squad, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of guilty of that. Okay, you kind of do it together so that if you're in cover behind, you can this actually I just remember from the event yesterday is dragging.
Yes. It's a new addition for Battlefield 5, basically. So you know those moments you're playing the game, and you're basically playing maps like Amiens, maps like Metro. You're often in those scenarios where you find your teammate laying in a hallway of death.
the middle of nowhere where you're just like, I am never going out there and picking you up. You are having a laugh.
You don't want to rush out there and basically execute a revive there.
Yeah.
But in Battlefield 5, you can rush up to that teammate, grab him, and pull him behind cover, and then revive him in the safety of that cover.
And if he's in your squad as well, you don't even have to be a medic. You can be a support. You'd be like, kind of drag him into cover and then do a squad
Yes,
revive.
but there is an important distinction between the body revive and the medic, because we still want the medic to be the best at the thing that he does, which is healing and reviving.
Yeah.
And we don't want to diminish that part of that class. So the body revive is a significantly longer revive, and the revive is a physical interaction this time around. You actually move up to the player that you're going to revive, and you lean down and you stab them with the syringe, and then you help them up, so you see their face and you see their visual customization. It's the same thing from the perspective from the person that's being revived.
Yeah.
You see
it's
the
so much
person
more immersive in the kind
it's
of like,
much more immersive, and it's much more physical in that sense. So again, great distinction between body revive. It takes significantly longer to execute, and it doesn't bring you back to full health. And there's also no addition for the medic who can also then obviously heal. He brings people back with full health. And also he can revive everyone, while his body revive is only secluded as an action, so you can execute within the squad.
Yeah. So right, next thing as well, right? After we've done the revives, we've kind of helped the teammate. In the trailer, we just leave him to die. I'm just going to be honest. He's still just there screaming for help. But we then see the movement where he kind of comes sprinting out and jumping out the window. How's that going to work in the game? How are people going to be able to have that flow of movement?
Well, I think a lot of the work that the core gameplay guys have done in terms of the movement system and sort of that physicality and that sort of making things feel realistic and natural and fluid. So as you see here, you've got the guy jumping out the window and hitting the ground, and we want players to sort of have that simulation and sort of and adapt to what's going on in the game. He's probably going to get a little hurt, just a little bit. Which also, as Dennis says, impacts part of the game with health systems. So you got to make these decisions. You got to be willing to make that decision. That's a choice you're going to have to make, because
he's making a good choice though.
And there was that moment as well after jumping out the window. You see the player that was killed originally at the doorway spawn in and do that kind of turn to snipe. So with the as I like to call her, the claw lady, right? So which we have here, so which kind of leads into that additional movement, because before you kind of if you wanted to crawl and go prone, you would kind of lie on the floor and then do this weird kind of just 360
turn around
twist.
in place,
and then just be like, kind of like, why aren't my legs moving? I want to twist. But now you have that huge range of movement by lying on your back, and you can kind of rotate how you want. Is that a whole 360-degree rotation, or is it just kind of like you can lie on your back, do it, and then you need to kind of move again?
No, it's full 360-degree, completely seamless. So you'll be laying on your back, and then your character will seamlessly turn over and turn to the stomach, and then turn over to the back again.
That's awesome, because I think it's one of those things, those additional movements and that kind of ability just makes it so much really exciting from a player's perspective, because it just opens this world of other things that you can do. Like if you're getting chased by players, go sprinting through a door barge and then just drop to the floor, turn, just wait there with, I think you said with a shotgun.
Yes.
And just take them out. And now I think this is something that a lot of Battlefield players will be quite excited about as well. It's a little bit of an old throw to the original Battlefield music track when she kind of hops into the buggy for the first time. You're just like, wait, carefully. I know that. So I think we're going to listen to that now quickly, just so you guys that missed it. So on, here we go.
There it is.
And the AA gun goes off in the background, which you may have noticed is being towed by a tank.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you're just kind of like, well, it seems to make total sense that you should just be able to build your own little mobile anti-aircraft fortress. I mean, I think that's the
little micro train.
Yeah, it's the little micro train. I mean,
why not?
Obviously that is the right thing to be able to do. If that's I don't think anything gets more Battlefield than that.
That's a really cool thing. I can't wait to see how players kind of take advantage of that and help set up fortifications. Will you tell us a little bit more about how fortifications are going to work in Battlefield 5?
Yeah, so I think for me this is my favorite feature. I think that Berlin and the guys are really working on is that every player who plays, every player on the battlefield is going to have access to a toolbox. And that toolbox is going to allow them to build fortifications. And and the guys have sort of, the map designers have basically laid out a whole bunch of different opportunities throughout the map to sort of build up these fortifications. So, you drive a tank through a building, you're going to be able to go and sort of refortify that building, sort of board up the windows, and then sort of refortify the doors to make sure you've got a place to find some cover. There'll be opportunities and choke points as players run towards map to sort of build that situation where you can kind of really hold and play defense against the flags and all that kind of things, and build up, build around the flags those resource stations that sort of are key to the sort of war of attrition that we've been working on as well.
Yeah. Also, is there going to be a specific class that'll be able to build fortifications quicker, or because you said everyone's got access to it, so is there going to be a special class that will be able to fortify quicker?
Well, so kind of what we're doing here is that we're saying, so from Battlefield 1, everybody had the gas mask, right?
Yeah.
So we're changing that out. So now every single player on the battlefield will have access to a toolkit. You can bring it out and you can start building. But the support player, he is the most efficient person to execute his job, basically. He builds faster and he has larger utility. He can build more things. He is the class, for example, that can set up machine guns, for example. So yes, but I mean, the mentality here that we're really pushing is to give a lot of variety in terms of like what you can build. So anything that you would consider like a military type of fortification, we're talking sandbags, we're talking barbed wire, we're talking tank stoppers, we're talking trenches, we're talking foxholes with mounted machine guns and sandbags. I mean, there's more to it that we're not going to talk about right now, even more awesome stuff.
Damn it!
I know, it sucks, but we can't reveal everything on reveal day.
Yeah.
That's a shame. Why not? Why not?
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
It's just like being a massive tease. It's like, it's all here for you to look at, but we can't tell you everything.
It's going to be completely playable as EA Play, though.
That's what I'm excited for. I've now got on my calendars going like counting down the days to EA Play, and I'm going to be so happy. I'm just going to be sat there, and then you're going to have to like prise me off the chair.
But really, this is a system that completely changes how Battlefield is played.
Yeah.
It just completely, it mirrors so well with the existing destruction system, where sometimes as a player you can level the play field and be like, oh, there's not enough cover left. But with this system, we actually marry it with the destruction system. So now you can bring cover back and build additional fortifications to bring that cover back. And it's really, really cool.
Yeah, so I'll talk about cool as well. The next bit is when the UI kind of kicks in, overlays, and you get the movement for the first time, you get the guns firing for the first time from that first person perspective. There is this amazing like kind of slide you get where you're shooting. Can you tell us a little bit more about this bit of gameplay?
I think one interesting thing that you will see if you really, really get down to the nitty-gritty details of this trailer, because you will find all the small details if you watch it multiple times, because there's so much hidden in here. But I think something that we're alluding to in this shot is that this machine gun is an MG42, which is an absolute beast. And this thing has a big ammo pack, but it's still being reloaded. So what's going on here, really? And this is the fact that we're actually introducing this whole new meta layer of gameplay of the war of attrition. That actually, in this game, you will have to be mindful of your resources. So it's a whole new mindfulness of resource management that comes in and sits on top of the existing Battlefield experience.
It's going to be a stressful experience for me because I just kind of spray and pray. Like that's kind of my.
Well, I mean, like Ryan said earlier, it's just like so. Now with the fact that you can maybe carry less ammunition, for example, we're also giving you the ability to receive ammunition to a much larger extent. Of course, you can get ammunition from the support player. That's one of his primary roles. But you can also, using the fortification system that we just talked about, you can build resupply stations on all flags. And on those resupply stations, you can refill ammo, refill gadgetry, refill explosives, and you can also heal up. And another really cool addition is that every enemy you kill will drop ammo. So it's the capability for you to actually take that risk of running out into the battlefield and picking up and looting ammo from corpses.
Okay, that's
so much stuff you missed in this trailer.
Okay, all right. You don't have to keep rubbing it in. I know that's why you guys are here. We're actually going to go on to your favourite moment, actually, because there is a moment in the trailer where you see a grenade getting picked up. Right, the first time. Do you want to talk us through the clip? Because I was quite excited when I saw this, because the first time you see it, I had no idea what was going on.
Well, as you can see, there's obviously someone tossing like a grenade towards you, and your guy here picks it up and tosses it back, and you shoot it, it explodes, and the plane comes and takes the plane down.
So you can shoot grenades out of the sky, right? So you see a grenade throwing at you and you've got an incredible shot, you can shoot it out of the sky and you're going to survive.
Well, assuming that you will throw it away fast enough, otherwise you will just hold it.
Just hold it. Yeah, just like they're going like, all right, this is going to go downhill. Like, the thing is, that's really exciting for me, just because there's so many situations, and sometimes when you're on an objective and you've just got grenades flying in, you just want to throw it back down the corridor. So that's going to be a really cool addition. But if we move on to the next thing, we've talked about the MG42 because there is this epic clip as well, where you just see, I think the physicality comes into play as well again, where you just see all the bodies dropping. So if we take a look at this clip, so that's where we pick up the MG42 weapon customization, but here is amazing.
There we go. Just the sound of this weapon is so iconic for the era.
Yeah.
You know, it's such an iconic weapon for World War II. It's and I mean, like you said, visual customization in this game, we're bringing it to a completely new level, be it how you want to customize your soldier, how you want to be customizing your vehicles, how you want to be customizing your weapons. So it's all contributed towards you building your own company. Your company that plays the way you want it to play and looks the way you want it to look. That's the key here.
Yeah, so with the MG42 as well, because in the reveal you talked about high caliber weapons, would you count the MG42 as a high caliber weapon?
It is definitely that. And I mean,
you know, I'm just double checking, you know, just like,
listen to the sound
not
of it,
really, yeah.
cutting
It's
through
crazy.
people.
No, but that's actually something interesting here that we're adding in terms of gameplay depth, to have it also like a larger variety between the different archetypes of weapons that we have in the game. And something that we're giving to the support player and something that we're giving to the LMGs in general is their ability to apply bullet penetration to a much larger extent. So if you're a support player this time around, you can, for example, execute a motion that is like you're building a fortification that is, say, sandbags, for example, and then you can mount your MG on top of that. And if then you see a bunch of enemies scurrying inside a house to hide, they can't hide anymore in there because your bullets would just rip straight through that house and just take them out. So that just gives so much more power to the bipodded, bipodded LMG and the support player.
You can hear the panic already of just people in the house going like, there's bullets flying through the walls.
It is
just going,
like,
hit the floor, hit the floor.
It's pretty hairy for them inside because you see smoke everywhere. It's just, you know, like what's going on, and most of the time they just jump out of windows. Just like crash through the windows and just get out of there.
Yeah.
And then more than often than not, there's a tiger waiting outside ready to.
It sounds like just a living nightmare, this death, which talking about the sound, we talked about the sound of the MG42, one of the most iconic sounds from World War II, V1 rocket. Like, can we just hear it before we look at it? Because the sound. You hear that in Battlefield 5, you're just gonna freak out because we just see it. It just causes so much devastation. How are players going to go about earning this?
So so this is part of the our new reinforcement system. I mean, players play the game. You play together as a squad. You're going to earn these ability to call in these iconic weapons of World War II. That sort of really give you that sort of benefit for playing as a team.
So you're going to be encouraged to kind of like always stick with your squad, like revive. It's going to be from previous Battlefields, same way of earning squad points, but they'll be able to earn squad reinforcements, so resupplies, vehicles, the V1 rocket. We also see that knockback, which we keep coming back to it, the physicality.
Yeah.
Is that going to happen to everyone within the area, or is it just going to happen to the enemy team, or will everyone be affected?
No, I mean, if you're within the shockwave vicinity of that V1, you're going to be put on your ass, pretty much. If it's a friendly one, it won't necessarily kill you, but it will put you on your ass. I mean, basically, that's the beauty of this and how we're looking at the overhaul movement system. That's something that just puts you into a state where now you're in that, on your back, and you're able to, backpedal and then move again. So like it just seamlessly blends into the other systems that we built. So yes, shockwaves in general will have a much larger impact and on players. On the battlefield.
So Natalie, towards the end of the trailer as well, in the background we see paratroopers coming down. Is there anything else you can tell us about that? Are we going to be able to kind of jump from the air, kind of? Like...
Well, yes, there will be paratroopers in this game, and I mean it's going to be in one of the game modes that we have.
Airborne.
Yeah, airborne.
Yeah. Airborne game mode.
So yes, definitely. We'll be able to jump out, maybe shoot at some enemies, who knows?
So it's the same with like ground operations as well, or?
It's a part of the ground operation offering. It's in ground operations is our new take on historically inspired battles a fan favorite from Battlefield 1. We're bringing it back to Battlefield 5, but we're changing the formula. We're changing the formula, and we're introducing the concept of fictional days that you're going to go for. Each day is represented by one game mode, and it takes about an hour to play through. But the airborne game mode is all about that fantasy of being the paratrooper, of actually standing in the door of that airplane and being able to look out and decide when you want to actually make that jump. And it's not just for the first spawn. Every time you die, you're back up into those airplanes.
Gotta go through. Can you get shot out from when you're like coming down as well? If someone's got like an incredible sniper shot, you're just kind of like going down, just get taken out of the sky?
I think the most vicious thing you gotta watch out for is the combination of the sort of system we're talking about, towables. Like you can now be towing an anti-air gun, so you don't know where you're gonna be. So if you're really, it's like if you're lucky and you're good, you could be actually the guy sitting in an anti-air gun taking down one of those carrier airplanes, and those can carry a lot of players at the same time, and they're going to be noticing, it's like, we're taking damage, we got to go, jump.
I'd be freaking out. It's going to be amazing to play. I can't wait. But one of the big things as well with Battlefield 5 is EA Access, which is going to give players on the Xbox One, if they've got EA Access, early access on the 11th of October, which is pretty exciting. So 11th of October, if you've got EA Access on Xbox One, you can pick up and play Battlefield 5 on October 11th. Big thing though as well, is it Xbox One X enhanced?
It is. It will definitely be. We're not going to spoil anything and go into any details, obviously.
I think you've got my attention already. It's just like, is there anything else you can tell us? Is there anything at all? But no, it's really exciting to see that it's going to be Xbox One X enhanced. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be beautiful. But that trailer has been exceptional. I've watched it so many times already. Like I love it. Like, and as Natalie was saying earlier as well, that you just notice something different every time. And thank you very much for Ryan, Daniel, Natalie for talking us through it. I really appreciate it. So there we have it, some things that you might not know about Battlefield 5. If you know anything else, do make sure to let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new, as we're going to have Battlefield 5 gameplay here very, very soon. Drop a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Bye.